Cheers, and welcome back to Tea with Tosha, where we sip tea with no shade included. Welcome back, and thank you for joining me on this sunny Tuesday. Last week I was wearing a turtleneck, this week a t-shirt. So the weather is going my way, our way, right? So today we are gonna talk, well, first off, let me introduce our drink. Can't forget about that. Today we're drinking, I guess we could call it a green tea latte, a souped up green tea latte, or we could actually call it a hot smoothie. If you stick around to the end, I'll show you how we made it. It's rich, creamy. It has a few nut butters in there. It has some spices in there, and it's rich and decadent. Like, this could literally be a meal. So anyway, let me put this down. It's very hard, but let me put this down. Today we are gonna talk about something that is near and dear to my heart, near and dear to a lot of people's heart. We're gonna talk about talent. We all have a talent. We all were born with a talent, right? And unfortunately, sometimes when things come easy to you, you tend to dismiss them. You think it's nothing. Maybe you can draw something in 5 minutes that someone else would pour over for hours. Maybe you can create something out the top of your dome. Maybe you can put words together. Maybe you can put outfits together. Maybe you can put Legos together. Whatever it is, everyone has their talent. And unfortunately, just like with many things in life, we always wish that we had the opposite of what we do have. Unfortunately, most of us, we have our talent and we don't value it. Talent is something, I think at some point in human history, talent got replaced with following a path, whether it's a path of academia, like the well-mowed, well-manicured, well-lined, well-lit path, instead of carving our own paths. Even when we were younger and we'd watch cartoons, remember Painter Smurf painted, Singer Smurf sang, Papa Smurf papaed. There was Builder Smurf. It was simple. You came with this talent and that was what you did in life. So I'm gonna tell you guys a little story of something that happened to me. As you can see, this girl is chock full of stories. So it was a couple years ago. I write often, and I just happened to write this thing on Facebook. It was like, well, now that I look back, it was like almost 1 a.m. one morning. I just typed it out, posted it, no biggie. So back to the beginning of the story now. I was going to a friend's event. My beautiful friend, Liba. I was going to her event. Didn't plan on going. My other friend, that day, we decided like, oh, Liba's having an event in her backyard, which she has a magical backyard. There's like a labyrinth in there. It's magical. It's not just any old backyard. So there was a shaman there. And it was like a shamanic healing for women. It was actually a womb healing ceremony. It's like a circle for women. Both my friend and I were just like, let's pop by, because, like we just wanted to check it out and just to support Liba's event. We're like, let's pop by. I don't even think we were like, I don't know what you normally would wear to a shamanic womb healing event, but I don't know if we had on the proper attire. So we go and we're sitting in this circle in the backyard, and we walk the labyrinth and we do some things as a group, say some things out loud, just some like healing things we say out loud, and the ceremony continues. We go through like purification, smoke, and on and on. And so they started with the circle open, and so now they're closing the circle at the end of the event. So they close the circle and they ask us all to sit back in the circle, close our eyes, and hold our heads down. And much to my surprise, while my head was down and the shaman starts reciting a poem. And by the second line, I'm like, that's my poem. I wrote that. So I turned to my friend Liba and I'm like, that's my poem. So she looks and she whispers, she's like, Tosha, stop playing. Because everyone who knows me knows I love to make jokes. So she's like, Tosha, stop playing. So we hold our heads down. We look up. This is what I start to hear. She climbed in to herself like a child climbing into her parents' bed. She climbed in with the intensity of someone searching for that needle in a haystack. She climbed in with the precision of a surgeon's hand, seeking to remove a cancerous growth. She climbed in, ready and willing to commune with her highest self. She climbed in to seek shelter, seeking warmth. She climbed in from the cold. She climbed in knowing that in knowing she knew. She knew that in held the answers, the validation, the shelter, the confirmation, the healing. She climbed in to remember. She climbed in knowing that in always comes first in the race to out. She climbed in. She climbed in. So at the end of the ceremony, I go to my friend again and I'm like, that's my poem. But my friend that came with me actually, I said to her, that's my poem. She was like, Tosh, that is your poem. So I tell my friend, I'm like, that's my poem. I wrote that. So she said, oh my God, I have to tell her. So I go up to the shaman and I tell her, I'm like, that's my poem. I wrote that. So she said she's been using that poem at her womb healing ceremonies and was writing author unknown. Why? Because she didn't know that it was little old me. I never met the lady before this day, to be fair, but she didn't know. But she was so excited to hear that she finally found out who wrote this poem. So my point here, and I'm going to tell you, after I went home, I had to search through Facebook. I had to search the word she climbed in to find that. I never wrote it down anywhere else. I just poop and probably drank some tea and went to my bed. So the point that I'm making today to you and to me, I always, whenever I'm speaking to anyone, I always say I'm talking to you and I'm talking to me because this head is hard. The point is, if you don't place value on your talent, no one else will. And if you don't place value on your talent, you'll be unknown. You could possibly be unknown. You'll never get the credit for your talent. Don't be flippant about whatever it is that you do well. Don't be flippant about it, because there are some people who are like mesmerized by something small, something that you think is small that you do. Nothing that we do is really small, but there's someone out there who's mesmerized and sees value. So if you don't place value on what your talent is, someone else will. And that's the tea for today, okay? You have had tea with Tosha. And once again at the end, look, I drank half. Once again at the end of this, if you stick around, next I'll show you exactly how I made this delicious, I'll call it a warm smoothie or a green super smoothie latte thingy. So I'll show you how to make this. And just a reminder, you know how they say that the graveyard holds the most talents that people never realized, visions that they never brought into fruition. I'm guilty. I am so guilty. So we got to stop that. Place value on your talents. I'm talking to you and I'm talking to me. Place value on your talents. It's not just casual. Until we tea again, thank you for watching. Please leave a comment down below on one talent that you have that you're gonna pursue this year, 2020. Leave a comment below. Just put it out there. Put yourself out there saying, I'm gonna do blah, blah, blah. This year, I'm gonna put value on this talent. I'm gonna pursue this endeavor. I'm going to whatever it is. Or write it in your journal. You don't have to tell me, but tell you. Yes, until we tea again. Peace, everyone. Like, comment, and subscribe. You've just had Tea with Tosha. Peace. Hello, everyone. I am super excited to make my green blended latte. Now, the reason why I'm blending this, it gives you kind of a cheap way to get extra froth. Also, the tahini and the sunflower butter will make it super creamy. So I'm going to show you what we have today. This is Irish moss gel. This was prepared from I think last week or so. It's been in my fridge. This one I soaked and then blended. Traditionally, Jamaicans boil it first and then let it gel. This was simply soaked and blended. Next up, we have our star of the show, our tahini, our matcha, which she probably thinks she's the star of the show, our spirulina for that extra green, our ginger and some cardamom seeds. Then we have our maca powder. This is ashwagandha powder, lion's mane powder, and some sunflower butter. So it's going to be like a really nutty, delicious tea latte. And this is just our hot water. Here we go. So now we're going to just add our ingredients. First, starting with our powders. That is our lion's mane. Next, we have our maca, our matcha and our spirulina combo, our crushed ginger and cardamom, our ashwagandha. Hello, she's a little shy. Our sunflower butter. Our Irish moss gel, slowly but surely. And last but not least, our sunflower butter is coming in now. Alrighty, in comes our milk. And let's say we're gonna add probably about maybe 2 cups of milk. And then we're gonna slowly pour in our hot water. Our water is like piping hot. I made it this hot so that it won't lose the heat from all of our cool milk or any of our other. And we're blending. One thing I forgot to do is to sweeten it.